Hey guys. Um, so I want to share something with you that came through yesterday as I was watching something on YouTube. I had it on my TV because it's a smart TV, and I was tuning in, but not really tuning in. And in a moment, I had this flash of awareness, like the biggest picture, the highest level that I could have imagined. And it actually took me a second to wrap my head around what I was receiving. So I want to share it with you because I think that this is the way that we have to come into awareness with everything that's playing out in our reality. Okay. So I'm watching this YouTube video and it's basically, talking about some of the stuff that's taking place that, is going on in our reality. And all of a sudden I feel like I flash out of my body and I have this very, very high view, this very high perspective of what is actually taking place. And in that moment that I'm out of my body, I am looking at myself in a movie of my life that is playing out. And the version that is me, the me that is me, that is the actor in this movie, is not consciously aware that I am taking part in my own movie. And it was profound. And then in the next second, I flashed on a movie from, I think, 1998, right? I looked that up yesterday after it happened, called The Truman Show with Jim Carey. Now, I probably saw that back then, never gave it another thought. Um, but when I thought back about The Truman Show, and I remembered thinking that Jim Carrey played a character who was unaware that he was in a TV show and people were actually watching him be him as if he was in a TV show. Um, that moment was completely profound for me, sitting here thinking, wow, that's what's happening. That's what this is. This holographic reality for each of us is playing out. It's a storyline, it's a theme on our way to the freedom that we're all desiring. But first, we have to see the reality of what is presenting and what is playing out. And in that movie, I remember with Jim Carrey, um, he's unaware for almost the whole movie until something happens. And I have to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again probably tonight because I don't remember everything. But he has a moment towards the end where he starts to really tune in and pay attention and realize that, wait, something just happened and this doesn't seem right. And then he starts to really become aware and open his eyes. And then in that moment of awareness, in opening his eyes, he starts to gain more awareness. And in gaining more awareness, he starts to see truth. And in now his awareness of what truth is, he starts to look at and for deeper truth and meaning. This was a profound moment because it brought me right into everything that's taking place. And for most of you know that I follow people on Twitter that are in the know. I have developed some connections, not many, that I really value the information coming through because I know it's coming from a high level, right? It's not that I'm super connected, but I am super observant, and I am what I would consider a conscious observer, all right, with everything that comes my way. I don't make a judgment on it. I'm in divine neutrality. I don't get my feelings involved. I present information for the purpose of the awakening, right? Because I know that that's what's happening. But last night, in that awareness, in all of a sudden the Truman Show popping into my head, I mean, that was 1998. I haven't thought about that movie. I don't really, I don't watch TV. I very rarely watch movies. But I'm thinking to myself, if Hollywood is creating, and this is really goes along the line of Out of the Shadows, so that you could see where I'm putting this together. And if you haven't watched that movie, you should. Um, but if Hollywood is telling us in movies everything that they're doing, right? The Island is about cloning, and there's like all kinds of movies where they're telling us exactly what is going on. Um, and if 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 that's the case, and back in 1998, the Truman Show was about the reality of what is taking place for us, um, that we are unaware that we're in a movie-like setting, that would make so much sense because this is a holographic reality and we're creating all of it. And so through our focused intention or through our focused thoughts, we have a choice of how we're seeing it play out. Are we seeing this having a good conclusion, right? When I started to see that, all of a sudden the next thing I noticed, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to look for the ending of the vaccine, right? Because you've heard me post about it and say, okay, we can't stay on this timeline anymore because the vaccine has to be done. We have to move higher. We have to move to the next timeline. And so when I started to hold that in my awareness, things started showing up like in my news feeds showing that the FDA was closing down Bill Gates' ability to test and all of that stuff with the vaccines. And you could go to my wall and read it. But all of that is starting to close down. So, and I know many of you are messaging me going, hey, but the president's still talking about vaccines. And so I had to look at that and say, yeah, why would he be doing that? Because he doesn't like vaccines. He's not like a vax kind of guy, but he does recognize that if one is made properly or one is made with good ingredients in it, not, baby parts and formaldehyde and mercury and all kinds of other stuff, then maybe the vaccine would be good for us. Okay. But I had to start looking at that and saying, why is he talking about vaccines all the time? And then I thought to myself, probably for the same reason that he kept continuously hammering on the ventilators. It's all code words for other things. It's code words for his people, so they understand exactly where he is in this whole process as he's unfolding it. And he knows he's a very smart man. He knows exactly what time of day it is. As I mentioned to you already, he's fully aware that when we reopen, we're going to need a lot of support, and we're going to have to do something with this massive amount of debt that we're in, and the deficit that we're going into with the economy. So that's why there is the NESARA and JASERA programs that are going to be rolled out at some point. Don't know if it's going to be this year. Don't know if it's going to be next year, but I do know that it's in progress and it's in layers. And because of the density of all of this, it's got to be done in layers. It can't be done any faster. So back to the story. So what I found to be very interesting was I have had knowledge for a while of certain individuals that have been arrested that mainstream media has not made public at all, right? Officials, important. And as a matter of fact, those officials are connected to the prior administration. And so, and big charges, lots of stuff going on. And I thought to myself, why, why would, you know, all of this appear not to be moving forward? Why would it seem like nothing is being done? Why would that be? And, again, they showed me that this is all within a storyline and that we are watching a story that nobody has given us the narrative of. We don't know what this story is. We're watching the story of the emancipation of the United States and the population of the earth, the global population. And none of us have ever done this before. None of us have ever been here before, right? And so we don't really know how this story is supposed to go. We don't. And many don't have an awareness of the things that are taking place behind the scenes, the technology that is taking place behind the scenes. I have some because I do a lot of research and I have been in the know since 1997. So I've been in a great awareness and been able to uh, find information on many things, and obtain some really good resources. And so none of us are, you know, in the know of this story. It's like picking up a book and there is nothing written on the book about what the story is about. So you're just going to have to read it and figure it out. You're just going to have to read it and follow along with the characters. And that is what is happening. None of us have the information or the understanding of what is playing out. None of us have the awareness of what is taking place because we're being shown something that is not reality. If you watch the Truman movie, from what I remember, they were putting things in his path to make him think, make Jim Carrey think, his character, that that was his reality. Until at one point, I think what happened was he was dating somebody in the movie, and I can't remember exactly, but I think that all of a sudden they switched her with another woman and still the same name. And he was like, wait, you're not so and so. And she was like, yes, I am. And he was like, no, you're not. This is, no, I don't remember you being you. And so, you know, watch the movie. Watch the movie. I'm going to watch the movie again. I think that's really very telling of what's going on here and what we have to be in our awareness of, because this is each of our reality playing out and how we're choosing to be in it. And so the other part of this, what they're saying to me, is that we have activated a massive amount of divine feminine on the earth. And why that's important is because divine feminine is about nurturing, it's about care, it's about love, it's about honoring ourselves, our bodies. And so think about that from the perspective of the vaccine. So this vaccine situation has everybody in an uproar. And it's really forcing us to fall in love with ourselves and say, I'm not accepting a vaccine. You can't put that in my body. I won't tolerate that. And so it's really forcing each of us to step up and challenge the divine masculine, the patriarchal system of the past, and step into our sovereignty, to step into autonomy in a way that we have never done that before. So this was very profound for me, and I really wanted to bring this to all of you. I'm going to watch the Truman movie again because I feel like we're going to get some information from that that's going to show us what is really playing out in our reality is not not what we perceive as real. It is more the movie of what is that is playing out. So I hope you guys will check it out too and check back with me because I think this would be a fun thing for us to do collectively. And, I would definitely welcome some of your thoughts on that at some point. All right. So I hope you guys have a great day. Be safe out there. Remember, there is no wrong or right, right? But we have to make choices that are always going to keep our vibration high and keep our vibration aligned to those higher timelines that we want to move into. So if it doesn't really feel good in your body and you're doing it because you think you have to, I would challenge you on that. Do what is highly aligned, that feels amazing in your body. And if it doesn't feel good in your body, challenge yourself to step outside of that patriarchal control system and choose higher right? Don't choose the program. Don't choose the old belief system. Choose higher. So know that I love you. I look forward to connecting again, and you know, share this out, and let's see, because this movie, I'm gonna watch it tonight. It's gonna be interesting, I think, and we should all be doing that. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.